that is the moment of opportunity that's, in the very near future is that, hey, AI is going to take care of a whole bunch of stuff that actually I'm happy for it to do. Perhaps it's the less interesting part of project management. The interesting part of project management is about getting an amazing group of people together and getting them to do amazing things as a result through projects.
Hello, welcome to Capterra's Guest Network series, where we talk to leading business influencers about how to work smarter with the right software. I'm Niels Juist, and today we're talking to Peter Taylor. He's a project management coach, a keynote speaker, and author. We're covering the new Capterra research on the value of emotional intelligence, or EQ, and how you can improve it for better project management. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
So I first wanted to talk to you about the concept of emotional intelligence, because it can be pretty ambiguous. What are some signs that a project manager should work on his or her EQ?
Well, I think look at the team. Look at the team you're working or teams you're working with. We know project managers run many projects. So look at the team. Are you seeing increased levels of conflict, for example, in the team? Are you seeing increased amounts of turnover, of retention of people, not actually wanting to be part of that team as well? I think these are all signs that there is a problem out there, that maybe you need to focus on your emotional intelligence. You need to work with the team. You need to resolve some of those challenges out there. Deal with the conflict, deal with the communication issues, bring people back into the team, rebonding, reconnecting, refocusing on the future.
So it seems that most PMs are already working hard to avoid those challenges. In fact, 85% of PMs that Capterra surveyed say they've increased their use of EQ over the last 2 years. What do you think that is?
Well, 85%, that's an amazing number. I mean, we'd love to get it to 100% because I think that's the reality of what's needed. But what do I think about it? I think it's come about for two reasons. I think the first reasons that we are seeing is an ever-increased complexity in the project landscape. What's being asked of project managers and what's being asked of project teams is getting more and more complex, more challenging, more difficult. The higher complex requirements of output and benefits, and more remote resources, virtual working, all of that. So I think that's one of the drivers, I would say, and why project managers are recognizing they need to work on this one. I think the other aspect to it is, we have changed in a sense. It feels to me, and I think it feels to many people, that they now have the permission to focus on this part of their skill set. I think they have it's all kind of the wellness and the human factor out there. I think they recognise in these days that they have an opportunity to improve their skills for the benefit of themselves and for their project teams.
Do you think there's a connection between the growing need for EQ and the rise of emerging tech, like, for example, artificial intelligence?
Well, I think there's an opportunity, I would say, in the connection between those two things. I think, if we take as read that there is this complex landscape, that we're more focused on people, projects are, and they always have been, about people. So what can AI do to help with that? Well, AI can take over a lot of the mechanics, if you like, of project management. They can run the reports, run the analysis, they can project, they can do the resource balancing, they can do all of that, and they can do it just as well as a project manager, and they can do it faster than a project manager, and they don't get tired, it won't get tired, all of that. All of these are the promises of what AI will bring to the world of project management. And the counter to that is fantastic. As a project manager, I now have time to go back to focusing on people, working with my team, drawing the best out of them, showing great leadership, not running out of time so I can't deal with people because I have other demands on me. So I think that is the moment of opportunity that's the very near future, is that, hey, AI is going to take care of a whole bunch of stuff that actually I'm happy for it to do. Perhaps it's the less interesting part of project management. The interesting part of project management is about getting an amazing group of people together and getting them to do amazing things as a result through projects.
Project managers that we surveyed say that conflict resolution is their biggest EQ-related challenge. What is the secret to conflict resolution?
So it doesn't surprise me. It is one of the big challenges because, whilst I say we might be blessed in the future of spending more and more time working with people, it's people that create conflict. And the conflict arises typically through miscommunication, misunderstanding, and misadventures, if you like, in some ways. And I think, what can you do about it is, one, recognize it is a challenge, and two, recognize your own strengths and probably your own weaknesses in that area. Reflect on some of your personal case studies, if you like, and begin to work with yourself and with others as well. I think that's very important to improve future conflict. Trying to identify when conflicts are about to arise rather than dealing with them when they've actually happened. If you think about in project management, it's all about having a risk management plan rather than just waiting for an issue to happen and then dealing with the issue. The same is true of conflict. What is it? Can we anticipate when there might be conflict and intervene and resolve and calm things down before it truly escalates? I think all of that comes together in allowing project managers to just be even better than they are today.
How do you think that business leaders should train their PMs on conflict resolution skills?
Well, I think it's a matter of experience. I mean, training, education perhaps is a better word. Advisory is a even better word perhaps in this area. It is about taking, as I said, project managers, they'll all have a case study. They'll all have a story about this. So put that together. So you're hearing, other project managers are hearing the voice of their colleagues. People who are also experienced in what they're doing. Put together those kind of case studies or experiences. And take project managers through that and challenge them. What would you do in this situation? What was the right thing? What was the wrong thing? What are the consequences of what you're doing? And I think if businesses invest in that kind of education and that kind of platform or community, then they'll see the advantage and the benefits from that.
So we're seeing many companies use software like learning management systems to develop soft skill trainings, like the ones we were just talking about. How can leaders make sure virtual trainings are as effective as in-person workshops?
Well, I think starting where I kind of left off to my last reply, really, of take the real world, take examples from the real world, the case studies from other project managers, from your peers, give them the voice to share that amongst their community. You're not listening to some faithless trainer who you don't know, who you don't trust, you don't even think possibly has ever run a project. Get your peers, your colleagues to talk about it and put those kind of case experiences in front of you. And then I think support that with a learning experience platform, this kind of opportunity to immerse yourself in those shared experiences and look at the kind of shared output or best practice that comes from a larger community. And I think if companies take that approach, they will see a good value or good response from the project managers themselves, and they will see behavior changes for the better.
It's about finding the right balance between technology and human interaction, so to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to say keep a human in the loop at all times, and that's the backbone of everything to do with this kind of modern world. Keep a human in the loop, and if you can go face to face, or if you can have a human guided training experience, but at the very least have your fellow project managers positioning the challenges to you, so that you respect what they're saying and what their suggestions are.
Thanks for your insights, Peter.
My pleasure.
And thank you. You can check out more of these interviews on our YouTube channel, so please like and subscribe. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and X. See you next time.